So hey guys, I am sitting in my truck. I'm going to try to figure out what's wrong with it. It started giving me some troubles yesterday. I've been driving it on and off throughout the winter just to keep things going with it, so that's just not sitting all winter. I drove it last week. We had a couple of major snow events. I was using the truck for the four-wheel drive and was having no issues with it. I parked it on Friday and went to use it yesterday. My son needed to go to the mall, and I let my daughter take my car to school. So I was like, well, just take the truck. And I pulled out of the driveway, and it was starting to snow. And the truck started to act really weird once I started to try to turn around in the cul-de-sac to, face the direction that I needed to go. It was starting to act almost like a bucking bronco. Just almost violently surging, but it wasn't the engine or anything. I thought originally it was kind of maybe the four-wheel drive system was stuck on, even though it said it was in two-wheel drive. That sensation you get if you drive a four-wheel drive on dry pavement, and you kind of get that chattering of the front wheels. It was kind of like that, but on a more severe, violent basis. So we decided to not obviously go anywhere because I wasn't sure exactly what it would be. And I drove the truck around a little bit and had my son film it so I could kind of see if I could see what was going on. But by that point, it wasn't as happening as bad as it did when I originally when we were originally backing the truck out. So it was very difficult. You can see little moments of the truck kind of stutter in the playback video. So I thought I would get out here today as the weather's a lot better and try to investigate this. So, this is just an example of, the unexpected side when you're running your lawn care business, of things that can happen. Like I said, the truck was running fine. The last time I drove it, no issues switching between four-wheel drive and two-wheel drive. Parked it for the weekend and then come out to use it again, and now something wrong with it. So one of those things, you just have to be prepared for issues that come up, and I'm just thankful that it's here in February and not during the middle of the lawn mowing season when I have to rely on the truck, but it's sitting here. And it's one of those things where my truck right now, it's a 2005 GMC Sierra. It's got the Duramax in it. And it's getting older. It's getting, up there in age. I bought it used in 2008, so it was 3 years old when I bought it. And it had 155,000 kilometers on it when I bought it. So it looks like it's got 273,000 kilometers on it right now. I think that's about, I'm just guessing off the top of my head, but maybe around 180,000 miles sort of range. So I've put on about 120,000 kilometers, if I'm doing my math right, in the 8 years that I've owned it. So below average for the time that I've owned it, but it did have well above average kilometers at 155,000 kilometers when I bought it when it was only 3 years old. It's been a really good truck, but I have been thinking about replacing it. There's a bunch of other things about the truck that have been, over time, slowly failing, electronic things and little, bits and pieces. A lot of people tell me that, hey, it's a diesel, that thing's just barely broken in, and that's true. I don't dispute that. Maybe, for a diesel engine, that is, pretty low. But the rest of the truck is the same as any other, 2,500 3/4 ton gas truck. So even though, the engine may have tons of life in it, the rest of the truck is definitely showing its age. So that's the issue, is where it becomes, is it the repairs start to add up to be too expensive. And thus, up to this year, I've been relatively lucky, but I know there's a few big things that are, basically coming up on the rise with this truck. The water pump, I think, is going to need replacing. Whatever the issue is now, as well as diesel injectors at some point in time are going to be needed to be done, and that can be quite costly, from what I've heard, from what people have told me, and research that I've done. For an 8-cylinder diesel here in Canada, you're looking at roughly, from my initial research, about $1,000 per cylinder. So you're looking at about $8,000 to redo all the injectors on a diesel engine, and I'm not sure if that's really worth it to me. So kind of at that crossroads of what do I do? Do I just hold on to the truck and just use it till it can't be used anymore, or do I try to trade it in or sell it and try to get something for it? It cleans up nice. It still looks like a nice truck. Needs some tires as well. Those could use replacing this year, and some things. So a lot of things to think about when you're a business owner. It's not just like a personal vehicle where it's just you may be relying it on for some things, but it's not tied to your income. You can always, with a regular job, catch the bus and go to work, get a taxi and go to work. But with the lawn care business, that vehicle is your office, and it's your main transportation to take all of that equipment, your trailer and everything, to those jobs to be able to earn an income in the first place. So a lot, bigger decision to make, and you want to keep your business profitable. So spending outlandishly on some purchases, like a truck that you may not necessarily need, is one of those things. And that's where I'm at with this truck too. Like I said, it's a 3/4 ton. It's been a fantastic truck. It's been probably the most reliable vehicle in terms of breakdowns. I've only had it break down on me twice, where I couldn't drive it. Once was the water pump. I think it was the first year that I bought it, the water pump went out during a camping trip, and the second time a tensioner pulley went, and the serpentine belt broke, and I was basically stranded and had to have it towed. So that's not too bad in 8 years. But at the same time, when I bought this truck in 2008, it was really expensive at the time, and especially being a used truck with that many kilometers on it, it was still in the $40,000 range after taxes and everything 8 years ago. And trucks have only skyrocketed here in Canada, especially with the exchange rate. Looking at a 3/4 ton diesel GMC Sierra, if I were to get, this truck in a 2018 or 2019, I would be looking at about 80,000, and would not be surprised, depending on trim packages, with it pushing 100,000. And I'm just not, it's just not worth it to me, I don't think, for a mowing truck. That's a lot of lawn mowing to do to be able to make that back. So that puts me in that predicament of, do I really need a 3/4 ton diesel? I don't do snow plowing. I don't do, pulling large trailers anymore. And it's just my small little landscaping trailer, and, and to be able to pull, maybe a load of soil or something. But I was doing that all successfully before buying this particular truck with my previous truck when I first started my business. And that truck was a 2000 GMC Sierra. And it was just an extended cab, not the crew cab. And it was a 2-wheel drive model. It was like base model, had like the rubber floor mats inside, no carpeting or anything. And it was a small V8. It was a 4.8 liter V8, I believe. And it pulled the trailer fine, because my trailer's not that big, my landscaping trailer. And, I would have loads of, a load of soil, 2 or 3 yards of soil in it to do a top dressing or something in the trailer. And the truck didn't have any issues with that. It was more issues pulling the travel trailer on the highway, being, against the wind and stuff. That is where I really felt the issues. But with my landscaping trailer, whether it had soil in it, or my walker in the back, or stuff like that, and loaded up with other equipment and stuff. And I used to carry all of my equipment back then in the trailer. It used to be loaded. So I don't know if I need a 3/4 ton anymore, especially now that I don't do as much stuff as I used to. My 1/2 ton truck may be totally fine for my business. So a lot of things to think about in the future coming up, whether to keep the truck and just put some money into that, or whether to get into something newer. So I'm just going to walk around the truck and see if I can figure out what's going on with it. So doing a quick inspection here of the front, the only thing that I could find wrong is that front CV boot here on the passenger side is all torn. So I'm not sure if that would be the cause of that chattering feeling, like the 4-wheel drive was stuck on, or not. But regardless, definitely something I gotta get looked at and replaced. But other than that, that's the only thing I can see that looks to be wrong. So I'm just gonna go take it for a test drive and see what happens. So I just came back from test drive and everything seems fine now. It's running fine, it's not chattering anymore, and the steering seems all right. So I think it may have just been the 4-wheel drive system was still on, even though the button was showing me that it was in 2-wheel drive. It may not have fully switched to 2-wheel drive after I drove it on Friday in the snow, and I switched it back to 2-wheel drive when I came home. It may not have fully meshed into that 2-wheel drive mode, so that may have been the issue, that it was maybe kind of stuck in between or something. You noticed when I did that quick inspection there, I noticed that half shaft CV boot was ripped, so I'm gonna have to get that replaced. I didn't notice that, but at least I can probably just drive it now to the dealer and have that replaced rather than getting it towed, and then I can have them also go over the truck before lawn season starts here and have a look at everything, and then just safety wise, and then I'm still on the fence of whether I want to get a different truck or not, and like I said, whether it would have to be a 1/2 ton or a 3/4 ton, and whether I'd want to go with diesel again or just go back to gas. Diesel's great for the power and for the towing and stuff, but like I said, I don't tow as much anymore. And here in, at least where I am in Canada and the West Coast, getting diesel at gas stations sometimes can be a pain. There's usually only one pump that's shared with gas pumps, and there's always somebody there, getting gas, taking up the diesel pump spot. Even though there may be 15 other gas pumps available, they'll be sitting at the one that is diesel, and I'm always having to wait to get diesel. Just a lot of different thoughts going on in my head of whether I need it, whether it's time to upgrade this year, whether I can push the truck to another season, but then balancing out if repairs happen, it's easier to trade in the truck if it's running all relatively good now versus waiting for something catastrophic to happen and being out of luck there. So a lot of things when you're a lawn care business owner when it comes to your vehicle, things to think about. So that's it for this one, guys. If you like this video, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. Leave a comment down below and let me know if you like this style of vlog type video where I take you along on parts of my day, on events that happen around my lawn care business, like today's truck issue and trying to figure out what's wrong with my lawn care truck. So stick around. I'll leave a couple more videos for you guys to enjoy up here in the corners. So that's it for this one, guys. Here's to wishing you guys all overwhelming success and freedom in your lawn care business. Bye for now.